his senatorial bid for that particular matter. Murimi Mwangi will be speaking to us later on. Good afternoon. My name is Akisa Wandera. Well, all eyes will be on Parliament as members of Parliament seek to find ways of lowering the cost of living for millions of Kenyans. The lawmakers will debate the supplementary budget that is meant to cushion Kenyans from the high cost of living occasioned by increased prices of essential foods. Our senior reporter Rita Tinina now joins us from our City Centre studios. Rita, thank you very much for joining us here on KTN News Desk. What are some of the expectations for this afternoon session? Well, Rita, thank you for joining us. What do Kenyans really expect to come out of this?
Well, very good afternoon to you on this very hopeful afternoon for many Kenyans. And this is after President Uhuru Kenyatta on Saturday at the Bomas of Kenya, when the Jubilee delegates were endorsing him as their candidate for the presidency this year, said that he would use Parliament, have the government introduce a supplementary budget bill that is expected to cushion Kenyans against the high cost of living. But that supplementary budget may not be a quick fix as many Kenyans are expecting. The House resumes today after 1 month. It has a very loaded agenda. There are 18 bills that have been classified as priority business. These include the finance bill, there is the energy bill, there is the health bill, there is the two-third gender bill, there is also the bill to nominate members to the East African Legislative Assembly, and then there is the division of revenue bill. And this is where the controversy is. The supplementary budget will be anchored on the division of revenue bill, and this is a bill that has been lost. Remember, when the budget was read, this division of revenue bill had come before the National Assembly. Members of the National Assembly resolved that 323 billion shillings of the 1 trillion shilling Kenyan budget should go to the county governments. The division of revenue bill decides what funds, what resources which have been gathered nationally should go, what percentage should go to the county governments, what percentage should remain with the national government. So the National Assembly decided that 323 billion shillings should go to the counties. When that bill went to the Senate, senators resolved that instead of the 323 billion shillings, 352 billion shillings should go to the counties and the rest remain with the national government. And so there was no concurrence there. And when such a thing happens, both houses need to have concurrence. And speakers of both houses, Senate and the National Assembly, have to nominate a mediation team. And this was appointed, but it did not come up with a resolution. It did not come up with a report. The time within which it should have made the report back to the House lapsed on the 30th of last month. And so that bill was lost, meaning that the supplementary budget that the government hopes to introduce before the floor of the House, and which the division of revenue bill will be anchored upon, will not be as easy. The members of Parliament may have first to consider the division of revenue bill, and so the supplementary budget may not, even if the House agrees that the supplementary budget should be affected, they will have to first of all consider the division of revenue bill. The government is looking at several options. One of them will be perhaps to reallocate resources to the sectors that deal with food. Already the measures that the government has taken have not bore any fruit. There is the importation of cheap maize from Mexico. There is also the allowance of millers to buy maize from the National Cereals and Produce Board. That has not worked. And so eyes are on the supplementary budget. But even then, if the government then decides we will not go through the division of revenue bill, this is a national emergency, we'll seek a shortcut, even then the bill has to go the normal procedure. It has to be published, it has to then be introduced before the floor of the House, go through the first reading, go for public participation before it comes back for the second reading and the third reading. So for many Kenyans who perhaps were looking to this afternoon to see what the government will do and expecting that the prices of commodities will go down in a few weeks, that may not happen. And members of Parliament, they will be going on recess on the 15th of next month. That means that they have 38 straight days. But considering that they only sit 3 days in a week, that is on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, then they have 18 days to consider the 18 bills that are before the floor of the House. After that, maybe they can be recalled on special sittings. But there's also the issue of quorum in the House. Remember, this is the electioneering period. Many of them will be conducting campaigns. There are those who have already lost in the primaries. And so the floor of the House, in the House, there may be a quorum hitches, and how fast these bills are considered, maybe the country can only wait and watch.
All right, Rita, thank you very much for that update. That's our senior